Hi everybody, well it's an awful long time since I recorded one of these chicken dinner walkthrough videos. This is PUBG, this is the PlayStation 4, obviously this is Erangel and this is a solo dinner. Apologies for the lack of sound from the video, but while I was playing this solo round, I had my charger plugged into my controller and so it was constantly buzzing, but I'll try and make up for that with the commentary. So again, it's a solo chicken dinner, nothing particularly spectacular. It just ends up with 3 kills. I'm pretty lucky with the circle in most cases, and it goes down to a health off sort of as the final blue disappears. So it's a southeast to northwest flight path, so I decide to head to the southwest of the island, one of my favourite places to go. Jump past Pachinki, jump in a vehicle and head to loot in peace. Very lucky in the fact that the circle then comes down on top of me. As I'm coming into town, just make sure that there's a boat there, so if it flips over to Military Island, Sosnovka, I can jump over there, but as it happens it doesn't, and I end up just in fact you don't see it on this video, but somebody else comes into town. I keep an eye on them, but they drive off, so I use a boat to go into the next circle and go up to Ferry Pier, and that's where I landfall, which you'll see in just a second. But I wanted to make a PUBG video anyway, just to talk about how difficult I think PUBG has got. Definitely this season, it's definitely ramped up in difficulty. I think it's a combination of things. Probably the fact that I don't play as many solo PUBG matches as I used to, and also probably the fact that I think less people are playing PUBG, and the people that are playing PUBG are better. Look at this guy on this roof. I'll get him with the VSS. What's he doing up there? And the thing is, he was firing with a non-suppressed rifle as well, so I could hear him. So we take him out, and then another guy creeps in a second. So I hear him come into this building. So I just classic hiding position behind the door, and you'll see he backs into here, looking sort of into the circle. And then I can just blat him with my Vector. In fact, this is probably one of my favourite class setups I've got here. The silenced VSS, obviously, and the Vector, which isn't silenced, but is a great killer at close range. So yeah, so I'm probably not as good as I used to be, because I don't play as many solos. I play a lot more duos and squads now with random players. I quite enjoy doing that, because what happened over last season is my win rate has collapsed totally. My win rate for solos used to hover around 10%, and when we had the old system on Xbox for ranking, I would get into the top 100 on third person solo games in Europe. With all my top 10s I would get, and my win rate would get me up there. Now with the new ranking system we have, it's not based around skill and where you finish, it's purely based around time in game. But anyway, so I just tend to look at win rate now. My win rate has collapsed horrendously. It's gone down below 5%. I think it might be below 3% now. And that was kind of spoiling PUBG a little bit for me, solos especially. So I started playing more duos and squads with randoms, because I think when you play with randoms, there's no pressure to win. I don't think there is anyway, and I just enjoy playing PUBG. Jumping in, following them, going to lots of places that I might not necessarily go to, and sharpening up. The other thing I do a lot of now is before every play before every play session of PUBG, I go into the training a training island, the training zone, and I probably spend 20 minutes with an AK and a Kar 98 running up and down, doing the various ranges and shooting other players around, just to sharpen up my skills. And I think that's making me better, because I think, again, with this smaller player base that we've got now, the people who are still playing PUBG, they know what they're doing. There's no messing around, unless you're lucky with the circle and the circle comes to you and is very kind to you. You're going to get killed. You're not going to make it into that top 5. You're not going to make it into that top 3. And my strategy of getting into the top 10s still works. I can still get into the top 10s, but it's much harder to get that final chicken dinner. People are better with grenades. They get better at getting headshots. overall people's situational awareness of what's happening in the final circles is much better. Now, when we get cross-play in a month or so time, I think that's going to be an exciting time, because we're then going to have an influx of Xbox and PlayStation players coming back to the game, I think, as well, firing it up, and that's going to mean there's going to be players of, let's say, maybe players who aren't quite as good, and so that's exciting as well. But anyway, so back to the chicken dinner. So as you can see, I've come along the beach, I've climbed up the rocks, and there's only 3 people left now. So I can hear gunfire towards that yellow house and various grenades. I see this chap now. So I'm just kind of manoeuvring so that I can see him and he can't see me, because I know I can blat him with my VSS, and I kind of shoot him through the bush here. Yeah, good old VSS, amazing it is. And it's only me versus the one other guy. So I'm in the circle. So here it's a case of just trying to stay undercover and just peeking around, trying to look for the other chap. Now, if I was a little bit more accurate in a second, just getting onto full boost, you'll see I could actually kill this guy in a second, but I'm not that accurate, and I managed to miss him, because he's actually over in between that yellow house in front of me and that other yellow house to the right. He's over that side of the circle, and he comes running in. Probably see him in just a moment. Here comes the circle, so just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, he's over there where I just looked. Hey, there he goes. I see him running now, so I can see him there. He's gone behind the tree now, right in the middle, and I should really get him now with the VSS, but he moves and I just kind of miss him. Get a few shots on target, but he's behind the house, so he's now got the circle. I lob a grenade at him just to keep his head down, and then I hop down here and then make my way up. What he could have done there is, if he had pushed me, he could have got the high ground above where I am. And that, with the new climbing mechanic, you can climb up rocks and hills that you couldn't do. Now, I actually have loads and loads of grenades. I think I have about 6 grenades in this particular game. And what we're into now is the next circle, which is going to come in 20 seconds time, is the last circle. And when that disappears, then we'll be on to a situation where the blue is just going to disappear, which you'll see happening. And again, what's going through my mind now is just stay safe. I've got the high ground. I know he's behind that house somewhere. Just put my marker down in the middle of the circle. And I've just got to really just keep cool and just wait for him to make his move. I know I've got a level 3 vest on, which hasn't got any damage. I've got a level 2 helmet, which hasn't got any damage. I've got the Vector, which is one of the best close quarter weapons you can have. I've got a spare grenade as well. So I'm in a good position. So it's a case of avoiding a situation where I'm exposing myself to third person peeking. So third person peeking is where someone can hide behind a wall but still see around the corner of the wall, or see through the window, like I am now. See, I'm hidden behind these rocks, but I can still see that house. So I just want to avoid putting myself in a situation where the other guy can see me. Now, it's just a case of just waiting for this circle to disappear. I just move up a little bit now, just to see, because I've still got some grenades left, and what I decided to do is just lob a couple inside the house. It turns out I'm actually probably quite unlucky here, because he is actually inside the house, and I might well do him some damage at this point. I mean, because you never know. Right, that's it. So in 30 seconds the blue is going to completely disappear. I'm almost at full boost, so I'm just backing off a little bit. Just going to throw another grenade round the corner, just in case he's round the back of the house. But he's not actually, he is actually in the house. He makes a bad mistake here. He shouldn't have gone inside the house, because what's going to happen is he's going to get trapped inside the house. So here we go. So the blue is going to start to come in now, and it's going to come all the way in. So I'm at full boost now, which is what you want to be in a health off situation. I'm just waiting for him. I'm expecting him to run around the outside, and what I do there is I see him through the window, so I know, wait a minute, he's in the house. And at a certain point the blue will trap him, because he can't get out now. If you see, you probably just see him through the window, and he tries to fire it. Right, he is in the blue. He is taking so much damage now that I can just stay safe, get him to keep his head down. His health will be chunking down, and that's it. He dies, and I get the chicken dinner. It was a long time coming. PUBG is super hard now, but hey, I still love it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.